The second type of vector multiplication we're going to look at here is the vector product, or the cross product. The reason why it's referred to as a vector product is because if you take a look at the left-hand side of the highlighted equation, it gives you a vector. So you'll be left with something that has a direction. The reason why it's called the cross product is because if you look at the right-hand side, there's actually a little cross in between the two vectors. And that denotes the operation that you're going to be doing. Now, we're going to start off by dealing with this in angular form. You can do this cross product in angular form. However, there's also a rigorous procedure for doing it in Cartesian form, which I'll show you a little later on. What's important to note is this cross product is only defined in 3 dimensions. So not only can we go up, down, left, and right, we can also go into the page and out of the page. Now, if your goal is to perform the cross product in angular form, you have to do two things separately. The very first thing that you need to do is you need to find the magnitude of your answer. And that's this equation here that's highlighted in green. To find the magnitude, what you're going to do is you're going to take the magnitude of the first vector, multiply it by the magnitude of the second vector, and then multiply it by the angle between these two vectors if you were to line them up, end to end or tail to tail. Now, with that being said, we can actually do this fairly quickly. If our goal is to find the magnitude of this vector product, all we need to do is take the magnitude of A, which is 3, multiply that by the magnitude of B, which is 1, and then multiply it by the angle between them. Now in this case they're at right angles, so it's pretty straightforward to do. Angle between two things at right angles is 90 degrees. Now if you multiply this all out, you will get the magnitude of your resultant. So whatever vector we're going to find, its length is going to be 3. Now with that being said, we also need to find the direction. And this uses something known as the right hand rule. So what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to use your right hand. So what you're going to do is you're going to line up the blade of your hand. So grab your right hand, put your fingers so that they're straight. And what you're going to do is you're going to line your palm up with the first vector. So our first vector A is pointing to the right. So the palm of your hand, this is the palm of your hand. And these are your fingers. They're going to be pointing this way. All right, so you can line your hand right up with the screen. What you're then going to do is you're going to curl the fingers on the palm of your hand so that they point in the direction of the second vector, which is B, which is upwards. So you're going to bend your fingers on your right hand so that they're facing upwards. All right, so at the end of the day, what your hand will look like is your right hand will look something like this, where this is like the blade of your hand or your palm. I always call it the blade, but you can call it the palm. And these are your bent fingers. Now, if you do so, your thumb, which is over here, if you extend it all the way outward, like so you're giving me a hypothetical thumbs up, it will point in the direction of the resultant. So lining up your right hand so that the flat part of your hand or the blade or palm of your hand points to the right, then bending your fingers on your right hand so that they point upwards, your finger should point out straight towards me. In other words, your thumb should be coming out of the screen towards me. What this means is, see, our resultant cross product vector is going to be 3 units long, because that's the magnitude we calculated, and it's going to be out of the screen towards all of you. And this is one way of doing it. The only reason we talk about the cross product in angular form is because if you can utilize this right hand rule, it's sometimes very, very quick to determine the direction that it's in. And if you've either taken or on board to take Physics 2, it gets used for a lot of different things, because oftentimes we just need quick solutions to our problems.